about during the show. And, think also, what am I doing that may be sabotaging my success? Right? What's keeping me from having that why? And hear Mel and his story and how they were in a basement living. They were pretty much homeless and broke, and he didn't know what he was going to do. He had to do something. He's 50 years old. He'd lost everything, and he had that why. He had a big why. And I always tell people, if your why doesn't make you cry, then you're not going to succeed. And you really got to drive deep and know what that is. And so you've got to figure out what changes do you need to make and what you need to do to start laying out that success. What is that ultimate change that's going to help you get to the next level and achieve the things that you're trying to do. So with that, I'm going to bring back to Mel and ask you, Mel, so you've gone through, you've gone out and you've now got these events going, and it's your fifth year, correct?
That's right.
Okay, so why don't you share with the folks out there about what this event is and what it can do for people, and we've got actually a surprise for you, and we'll talk about it here in a little bit, but kind of share with them about the event in detail and what they're hoping they would gain from it.
Well, Michael, there's three things that I believe in my core that's important to be successful in business today. One is that you need to be motivated. If you're not motivated to get up in the morning and make things happen, nothing's going to happen. And quite frankly, there's a lot of people that want things, they want a better life. They're really not, motivated enough to get up and make it happen. The second thing is you need to know how to do it. You need to have training, a mentor. What do you do next? What are the baby steps? So to speak. And the third thing is, I believe that meeting one person can change your life forever. Not only your life, but your business. So what we do at the Unleashed Biz events is we bring in speakers from all over. Some are local, some we bring in from other areas. Each one is an expert in their field. I also do a lot of teaching and training. My expertise is on image, not only online but offline. I work with people on their look. I own a hair salon, so we talk about everything from grooming with women to makeup, hair, and how you dress, but also self-image. How do you look on the inside, and how do you project yourself so you make a great first impression? And then on top of that, your branding online, offline. So if you look at your website, your let's say your Facebook and so forth, what does your Facebook look like, and what is what is the image and the message that you're sharing with the world? So I help people with that. Now, some of the people that will be coming this next Unleashed Biz 2014, one is Eric Lofholm. Eric's a good friend of mine, one of the best sales trainers on the planet, local guy. He's going to be there sharing. And we also have coming all the way from Texas, a lady by the name of Elizabeth Montgomery. Now, her story is kind of unique. She was one of the very first Black Hawk helicopter pilots that, back in the day when, they didn't want women not only in the Army but flying helicopters. And she's going to be there speaking, telling her story. It's an amazing story. But Jim Britt, my mentor who trained Tony Robbins, he'll be there live and in person. So I have a lot of great people. I don't want to go through because I have 12 speakers. But you want to come to the event. It'll be life-changing. One of the things that I always tell people is you come to the event, you come for both days. You stay, come early, stay late. And if you don't get everything out of it that I promise, I will give you 100% money back guarantee.
Wow, that's awesome. Wow, that's great. Well, that's a pretty powerful statement there, because I know, I'm a big proponent of developing your skills, right? Absolutely. And I love what you said is that the mindset, and taking and changing the mind. People, a lot of times people don't realize how powerful that is. And, Mary Kay Ash had this quote once that she says, if you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you can't. Either way, you're right? Absolutely. So you can either see yourself as a success or you can see yourself as a failure, but it's up to you. And if that's the environment that you want to live or strive for, then by all means do it. But if you see yourself in an environment where you're a success, and even if you're at your worst, you didn't look at that. You just knew that I was going to be successful. I'm going to do this. I'm going to get it done. And so I'm always sharpening my skill. I'm always going to learn as much as I can, constantly feeding my mind. And we talked about that the other day on the show about feeding the mind, because it's so important to cultivate and have an open mind that leads you to bigger and better opportunities. And so let me ask you, so at the show, folks, it's a 2-day event, and they come in and they have different speakers that come through, and you have a lot of the different really incredible speakers, and especially I'd like to hear the story of the gal with the Blackhawk, being the first female Blackhawk.
Oh, yeah, that's amazing.
You ever see that movie with where the first woman Navy SEAL, what's her name, Demi Moore had played? Right. So I'd be curious to know the story and the harassments that she got coming through. But these are great people. Now, do they have a chance to go up and talk to some of these people and maybe get access to them?
Absolutely, Michael. One of the things that I love about our events, they're not huge. We sell out at 300 tickets. So you get to be up close and personal with the speakers, shake their hand, get to talk to them. We also have a VIP package where you can have lunch with your favorite speaker both days, Thursday and Friday, along with a VIP networking event that's Thursday night. We bring in a live jazz band, food and so forth, and it's kind of a party where you can actually talk to other VIPs, but also be up close and personal with the speakers. There's a couple of things, Michael, that I believe in. One is I believe in empowerment. I think that people need to be empowered. So many people have entitlement mentality.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they want something
Yep.
for nothing.
Yep.
And so my number one goal is give somebody a hand up, not a handout. Let's empower the small business owner today, the people out there that are trying to make it happen. Let's give them the knowledge and the tools they need to make a difference in the world. And we can do that one person at a time. We can change our economic environment one small business owner at a time. I believe that in my heart.
I love that. I'm taking a look at this saying right here on your website, unleashedbiz.com. And I love that saying, empowered and not entitled, hand up, not handout. Through training, motivation, and networking, you, the business owner, will unlock the hidden potential of your business. That's a phenomenal quote. And, all of the listeners that are listening right now, that's one thing that we really suggest that you do to help you to get your you factor, whether it's personally for yourself, for your business, for maybe a colleague of yours, in your relationship. Go get a ticket at unleashedbiz.com. Get a VIP ticket or even just a general admission ticket for both days. Check out the event. It may trigger something in your mind to go and get that you factor. Go get what you want and what you deserve in life. You're going to hear some great speakers there. Of course, the creator and owner of the event, Mr. Mel Vesely, Jim Brick, Kristen Thompson, Eric Laughlin, Elizabeth McCormick, the pilot, Alan Fadden, Shelley Hunt, Brian Taylor. The list goes on and on and on. And again, this is an event that's been going on for a number of years. Phenomenal event, but you guys, we got something really special. Mel's actually offered to give away, two free tickets for the person with the best why story, what their why is as to why they want to go to the event.
I love that.
All you have to do is go to gettheyoufactor.com, click on the contact tab, and then fill out that form with your why. Why do you want to go to the event? What is it going to do to change your life? And we'll follow up back with you and get you those tickets. And if you don't win, I suggest you go get those tickets soon, because it's going to fill up rather quickly and you don't want to miss this event.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things is I love about your story, Mel, is that you looked at this past failure as not as a obstacle that's going to keep you down, but as a motivator, right?
Right.
And a lot of people tend to, they have a hard time starting over. It's like they kind of throw their hands in the air. And I've always told people, why do you let society win? Mm-hmm. Why are you letting the system win? You're so much stronger than that. Drive forward, break through. And you know what? Is it going to be hard? Yes. Was it hard for you?
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
So, and as you keep going, and I bet this happened, and we hadn't had this discussion, but as you kept going and the obstacles kept falling in place, for some reason, things started to fall in place to help overcome those obstacles. Would you agree?
Right. Yeah, see, a lot of people wait for everything to be perfect, have all the ducks in a row. For me, I just started moving forward, and as I started moving forward, people started coming in and helping me with that goal and that dream. Now, it wasn't my friends and family, as I said earlier. It was strangers that said, Mel, I have the same passion. I want to help other people too. Let's lock arms and move forward. And now, this is our 5th event. We will be doing this event every year here in Sacramento, and maybe, throughout, the United States, who knows? I mean, I have a big, dream, big why. I want to help everybody. So, but as other people come to me and they say, I like what you're doing, and I like what this message is, this event will grow bigger and bigger.
Awesome.
And one of the things that you mentioned too is really having that breakthrough of fear. And right when you were starting this out, you had mentioned your friends and your closest friends in your family were some of the hardest ones that were trying to hold you back from actually doing this. And breaking through that fear and getting past it was a huge step. It's kind of like, crabs in a bucket. You go crab fishing, and Mike brought this up a couple shows ago. When you've got one crab in the bucket, it's always going to get out of the bucket. But if you're crab fishing, you throw 2 crabs in the bucket, they're never going to get out, because once one starts to get out of the bucket, the other one's pulling them right back down. And so for those of you that are listening that are looking for your U factor, are looking for going after entrepreneurialism, don't be that crab in the bucket that's pulling somebody else down. And more importantly, don't let them pull you down.
Absolutely. One of the questions I want you to think about, and there's a couple questions, and that is what is holding you back from being the success that you want to be, right? What is that? Maybe there's something out there. Or what's holding you back from getting that success? And who knows? I bet you if you go to this Unleashed Biz event that I'm supporting, we're going to be there. I think that you may find that. Or how about this question? Has there been a point in your life when you've been successful? How did that feel when you were there, right? Don't you want that feeling again? So start going towards that direction. Start doing the things, whether it's in business or maybe it's a sales. You had a great close and a big account that you brought in, and then you lost a couple. But remember that count and go out there and find that feeling again and hold that feeling. And every time you have those minor successes, I want you to think back about that. Reward yourself once you do. Or think about, do you have the skills and training you need to achieve your goals? Right? What a better place to come to get that and learn from folks that have all variety of backgrounds and successes and things to help you get on track and achieve the things that you want, right? So then, how about this? I talked about the sabotage. Do you sabotage your own success by the way you speak to yourself, right? A lot of times people, you get that negative chatter in the mind, and then they start answering it. Like, oh man, it's a terrible day. Yeah, it is a terrible day. It's gloomy out. At the last show we had, it was raining, pouring, and I said that, man, it's an incredible day. I got a free shower without having to use my own water. That's how I looked at it, right? I looked at it as a way to, positive instead of looking at it bad. So what you say. Here's another question. Are you willing to make the necessary changes to become the success that you desire? That's the big thing. Here you had a why, Mel, and then you go out and do it and achieved it. So find that why, folks. Find what is that why that's going to drive you. And find the people that in your past. If you have people in the past that encourage you when you attempt something new, get around them. They talk about the law of association, right? Get around the people that are going to support you. Don't listen to the trolls, right? The crap people. That's what they're there for. There's a ton of people that will help you. And it's funny. Family wasn't it for you, but there was other people that were. They saw in your eye that you needed that help, and they were there to help you and help you drive through. So, here's a question as well. Who do you know that can mentor you and guide you along your path to success? Right? And that's what you did, Mel, is you went out to Jim Brett and some of these folks to find that. Here at the Unleashed Biz, you're going to find all kinds of mentors. There's people here that are more than happy to help you. And listen, get around them, get associated. You're going to meet people at the event, the networking. You may meet someone there that changes your whole life. I talk about this, that I went to an event once, and it was probably at the worst of my times, and I went to this event, and there was the speaker up on stage said something that just changed my life completely around. I was at probably my worst. I didn't have money. I didn't know if I should go to this event. It was actually in Phoenix. I had to take a Greyhound bus. I was eating cup of noodles from 7-Eleven, and I barely paid to get into this event. and I was there, but the speaker got up on stage and he said, "If it's meant to be, it's up to me." And that saying has been with me my whole life. And because of it, it's helped me do amazing things and achieve great things, and the successes that I have and ongoing successes that I'm still creating. One, the radio show. You know, I never thought, years ago, I never thought I'd be doing a radio show, but I said, I've got a message, and I know other people do, so let's go out and let's do it.
And I think the most important thing is, Mel's got a vision, not of selling tickets, not of going and trying to get you to go through a system like, hurting you through this system. He's about helping people, and he's created a culture here to help people. Mel, I want to thank you so much for creating that culture, and I'm very excited about coming to your event, unleashedbiz.com. And for those of you that are listening, get tickets at unleashedbiz.com. And thank you so much for being a part of the show.
Well, you're welcome. Thank you guys for having me here.
Before you go, though.
Real quick, we'll be right back after a break. We've got to cut to a break. And thank you again for listening to Get the You Factor.
I didn't see you. I didn't even know. Sorry.
He said 1 minute like 5 minutes ago. I'm like,
oh, did he?
time out.
Oh, I didn't even see it.
I mean, the show's been clipping along at such a pace that you only got 17 minutes left.
Oh my
You could
God.
have done 2 hours of this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Easy.
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 You have to come back. Do yours.
Hey, you know what? I was thinking while we were doing the show is maybe if some of your speakers we could have on the next couple of shows, have some of the speakers come on.
Sure. We'd love to.
And have them, promote and talk and, promote the event. I think that would be cool.
We could even talk to the one from Texas via the phone. Should
Yep.
call
Yeah,
in.
have her call in.
Okay.
And then, we could even get, I don't know if Eric would be open to it, but,
Eric, Jim Britt, any of them.
any of those guys, yeah. Let's bring them on.
Yeah.
Okay.
They don't have to be in person. They can call in.
Yeah. Well, Jim Britt's in Grass Valley. He's close. Eric Lofholm's Rockland. He's
Let's
close.
just have them come by.
Yeah, Eric, I just have to tell Eric when and when. He'd be here in a heartbeat.
Nice.
Cool.
Cool. That would be good. And then that way we can help promote.
Yeah. Am I done?
No. I wanted
He's
to.
got one more question, I guess. So I'll start it back. All right, Mike. Just
Well,
before
we
went to the
can.
break-
I was going to ask him, is there any question that we haven't asked you that we should have?
Gotcha.
Right. So, and I think that, and then let him answer whatever that question is,
Okay.
and then you and I can close it out with, I've got the, right here,
Mm-hmm.
I've got the checklist, how to write your own success story checklist. So, we can read off each one. I'll do one, you do the other, whatever,
Okay.
and we'll capitalize on that. It's only one document. Here's a checklist to go away from the show today. What happened?
20 seconds.
All right.
This hour went by quick.
I
Sometimes hours go by so slow, and then sometimes they just sort of zoom right by.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
You're going to bring it back in?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'll ask the question.
Yeah, I'll pass it to you.
Okay. I love flying by the seat of our pants.
It's a rush.
It's the best.
All right.
Welcome back to Get the You Factor, where we find what it takes for you to find your You Factor to take it to the next level. We've got special guest, Mr. Mel Vesely here. And before we went to the break, Mike had one more question for Mel.
I'm always got something up my sleeve, right? So I wanted to ask Mel, and I like asking this of speakers because you really get something unique from them when you ask this. And this question is what question have I not asked that I probably should have?
Well, Mike, one of the things that when you ask that I think about is, and I heard somebody else talk about this years ago, is the dash between when you're born and when you die. And as I look at my life, if you look at your life as when your life's over and you're at the last breath, and then reverse what I call reverse engineering back to where you are now. Where do you want to be? What do you want people to say about you when it's over? And one of the things that Les Brown says better than anybody I know is, don't live your life on the bed of regret. So as I look at my life, I don't want to leave anything on the table. I want to be all in. Whatever it is I do, I want to be all in. And I also want to be all in with my friends, with my family. You know, when I do something, I do it 150%. I don't want to do it halfway. And you kind of have to live life, you know, full tilt. Because if you're going through life and you're just kind of mediocreing it along, you're never going to really get anywhere. But if you're focused and you're driven and you're all in, things happen.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, thank you for joining us on the show, and we hope that you stay around here for a little bit and maybe chirp in when you hear something. We're all about that. We share the love. So why don't we talk about, for the show now, is to kind of the checklist to create in that success story. Why don't you got one of the checklists, Nicholas, that you would like to share with people?
Yeah, and again, before we go through this checklist, remember this is one of the documents in the membership on gettheufactor.com. So simply register the website. Anything we talk about on this show, we do place those documents, any of the education, training lessons that we do, those documents are in the back end in the members area of the website. So be sure to register and sign up. And then don't forget, one last mention to get to the contact page. Send us your why of why you want to go to unleashedbiz.com, and the person with the best story, we're going to get them a couple free tickets valued at $97 a ticket. So very important to that. If you don't win, be sure to get your tickets at unleashedbiz.com. But the first checklist, I have reflected on who I am, what goals I want to achieve, and what setbacks I have to overcome.
Yeah, I want you to take that as far as the checklist and think about that. You know, reflect on who you are really as a person and what you need to do to overcome that. The next checklist is, I've made the conscious decision to do whatever is necessary to overcome my setbacks and achieve my dreams. You know, the fear factor that people have when they're going out there and they're trying to achieve certain things, you know, it really is what holds people back. And if you can know that, and in your case was the fear of where you were, that actually was a positive that helped you break through the fear of not knowing what to do, right? So it's kind of weird how that works. You know, the fear of where you're at motivated you enough to break through. So go ahead.
The next one is I maintain a positive mindset because I am aware that my thoughts impact my reality. And this kind of sets home for me because we started out with the positive affirmation of I am able to conquer destructive habits. And, you know, I catch myself sometimes, you know, being frustrated and stressed out with life and the world. And I sometimes, you know, get angry at my family or the ones closest to me. And, you know, this is something that we all need to focus on, is to make sure that, you know, it's not just in business that we keep this mindset and this focus. It's in our personal life. It's in our families. It's in everyone around us, and especially those that are closest to us that we care about.
Absolutely, and it's in everything that we do in life. Even just, you know, you look at the other day, I had some guy that was driving, and I put on my blinker and crossed over, and he got all upset, right? Road rage, right? And so I backed over and just let him by, because life's too short. I don't need to get all stressed and worry about something. Who knows what the person, you
Just
know.
smile and wave.
Yep, that's all I did. Smile, wave, and said, "You've been blessed, my friend. Go on your way." Now, the other checklist one is to put down is, my mind is focused on the route I need to take to achieve my goals. Right? Is your mind, I want you to get laser focused. Mel talked about this, you know, being laser focused. You look up and your house lights, you got, like in the radio station, we've got these little tube lights, and the light gets spread out, right? But when you take a magnifying glass and you put it under the sun or the light, boy, it gets laser pinpoint, right? What happens when it gets to that pinpoint?
Well, as a kid, I used to chase ants.
Yeah, poor ants. Yeah, and so it'd catch them on fire, right? So, I mean, it gets so hot and so intense. Well, that's how I want you to get your mind. I want you to get so laser focused on what it is that you want to accomplish and what it is that you need to do to get to that next level of success that you're drawing out. It's your book of success. I want you to have that. Yeah, you're painting, exactly. So,
the next one is my roadmap contains small, specific, measurable, and attainable goals. And I really like that because Mel brought up the spot of your life, the lifespan from birth to death, and within that lifespan, it's very important to create that roadmap. Figure out what your destiny is, what your goals are, what your top 10 goals in life are, and recite those. Figure those out and set those goals down so that subconsciously you can continue to work towards them.
Yeah, and folks, we've been talking about Mel's story, but listen, you may not be in that. Maybe things are good for you, right? But maybe it's a weight loss thing, that maybe you're trying to lose weight, or maybe it's a relationship that you're trying to work on. Really, that could be a success. Is taking that relationship, your husband or your wife, and have I done everything I can to make that relationship powerful and good, right? Versus have I been obstructive and dangerous and destructive, and is it bad? So it doesn't matter where you're at. And again, the definition of success is in all levels, and it's just maybe having more time with your son or a daughter, right?
Insecurities. Maybe you have social insecurities. You're afraid to go out in public.
Yeah.
You're working your way past that. And
Yeah.
so this show is about you and finding your you factor for anything that you want to achieve in life.
Absolutely. The next part of the checklist is failures propel me further forward because I view them as opportunities to learn and grow. Anybody that's been very successful, they will tell you that they failed their way to the top, right? You look at Donald Trump, look at Abraham Lincoln.